under the global pandemic logistics and supply chain, Tedros will take over trade and commerce when there is a pandemic. So basically, you are being prepped for the next pandemic. They have to make you have all these laws signed by your own leaders so that when the next pandemic, which they told us is definitely coming, eventually comes, you are already in chains. How do you give WHO authority over trade and commerce under the global pandemic logistics, whatever? How? What it means is that when the pandemic hits, other than the fact that they are not going to allow your country to develop a cure, to develop any vaccine or any medicine that could actually deal with the pandemic, you are already at their mercy in terms of health, or your health and your family's health. You are now going to be at their mercy in terms of the movement of goods and services. What then is left? If your health is in their hands, if your commerce, your trade, and your economic activities is controlled by them, now tell me that the scripture that says you will neither buy nor sell if you don't have the mark of the beast is wrong. Do you see why I made a video back then in 2020? And I said that WHO is the one that has been appointed to play the nanny in the nanny state of the totalitarian regime that is about to dawn, or that has actually dawned on our world today. I said it. How can you make such a proposal and say that all these nations should hand over to you the right to control trade, logistics, services, commerce in the countries because there is a pandemic? So all you need now is, if nothing is done to stop this, if our nations in Africa don't make haste and pull away from this agreement and refuse to sign it, if they put their signatures down, just begin to mark your calendar, because the moment that next pandemic they spoke about eventually happens, you will have absolutely no right for anything, no right to move around unless you have whatever they want you to have in your body, no right to trade, no right to move any services, no right to even choose what to have in your body as medicine or medication. They decide what goes into your body. They decide what your medicine should be. This one that some countries back then, during the COVID-19 in 2020, were saying, no, we don't need your vaccine, WHO. We don't really trust what you're giving to us. We want to manufacture our own. In fact, we already have our own vaccine. It's working for our people. You wouldn't have the right to do it again. That's why you had the first COVID-19 pandemic. So that one was preparatory. It was to prepare you. It was to pave the way. That was the rehearsal that they did. The real thing is now about to come. And they want to make sure that everything they didn't do in the other one, they would do it this time around. No rights left for any human being on earth if this is signed. And the only way it can be activated is when there is a pandemic. And they've already told you and I that there is another pandemic coming. And you can bet it's really coming. So the moment it comes, all of this will be activated.
How is the Biden administration planning to use the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, to pre-approve whatever is approved by the WHO?
This is something that just came to my attention on Friday from an international law expert, that this National Defense Authorization Act, which was rammed through at the very end of the last Congress, contains within it something called the International Pandemic Preparedness Act. And I think most people in Congress don't even know about this. But that act contains a loophole in it, which he argues, and I agree, makes it that whatever the World Health Organization passes is automatically made law in the United States, again, subverting our Senate. So this needs to be opposed. And in fact, I think that the entire World Health Organization attempt to take over the world, really, through vaccine passports. That's another thing that they want to do. The World Health Organization, if these things are passed, will have the ability to mandate in the United States how we handle a pandemic, including forced quarantines, forced mask mandates, forced vaccine mandates. Why should we allow Dr. Tedros, who failed so miserably in handling the Wuhan virus, order us around about how we handle our own health? So I think that we should actually withdraw from the WHO.
She talked about vaccine passports. The vaccine passport is one that I don't think they are proposing. I don't think they are still planning to. I think they have actually agreed and they are going ahead with that one. And I'm going to play you a clip where you're going to watch Tedros himself talk about the inspiration he got for the vaccine passport, which used to be a European thing, which he also admitted on camera that it was being used in many nations of the world. But now, the WHO is going to make it a global thing. Don't take my word for it. You are going to hear him.
Like many countries, the European Union made significant investments in COVID-19 certificates to help people move around as safely as possible during the pandemic. The European Union certification system was used by all 27 EU member states and more than 50 other countries. Building on the success of the EU system, WHO is proud today to launch the Global Digital Health Certification Network.
Building on the EU system, WHO is proud to launch the Global System Health Certification Network. So he took the clue from the EU. Who has been your colonial power in Africa? The EU. Tedros tells you today that what EU developed was used in so many countries around the world. So they're building on it. They've developed their own. They've globalized it. You don't have it, you can move around. We are just sitting down there and these people are just using ropes and tying us everywhere. And you don't feel it now because they haven't told you that the pandemic is... Everything they're doing is in preparation for the pandemic that is impending, that is imminent. They've told you. You've seen it in the news several times. You've seen world leaders tell you there's going to be another pandemic. Let's prepare for the next pandemic. How many times have you heard that? Let's prepare for the next. That next pandemic isn't coming until they have signed all these enslaving treaties that will tie your hands behind your back and tie your feet and make sure you don't move. So once it happens, they just come in and grab you and throw you wherever they want to throw you. And then utopia is born. And people will now live in quarantine centers. They've run trials in different places, even in China. You will live in quarantine centers and drones will come and take your trash and give you food. You just become like caged animals. Why? The earth that God created for us to live in, to dominate, to take control, to increase and multiply and take dominion. Another force now comes in to take dominion of us. Why? Because of ignorance. If the human spirit would wake up, if the human will will be awakened, and we will band together, especially on the continent of Africa, and put our feet down and say enough is enough. WHO, we are not signing this. And if you think that us not signing it means that we are no longer part of you, let us break away. We pull out. The millions of Africans who have been looking for a break all their lives are now going to be cut short because some guy somewhere decided that the time has come for us to vacate the earth. For who? For the devil and his demons. Because they have found that the world that God made for us is too beautiful and too precious. They want to take it over. I have decided to be breaking my videos in parts. If not, I would have told you who is coming to take over the world. But in the next video, I'll probably try and do that. Let me show you when the agreement was signed. for aliens who, of course, you know, are demons to come here and take over. They are going to operate in the form of AI. They are going to operate in the form of robots. Robots are going to have human emotions. They are going to have consciousness. They are going to have conscience. They're going to have everything that human beings have. Look it up. You can look for yourself. They are all there, out there for you to see. These are demons. They've been experimenting on human beings for decades. I have the proof. I've got the receipts. Hopefully in my next video, if I have the time, I'll show you everything you can see for yourself. This is a mass depopulation program that they are about to carry out because the devil told them to reduce the population of the world by 90-something%. Georgia Guidestone has it. Now I'm going to show you a video. In my next video, I want you to see a video of someone who was privy to all of this. I want you to hear him say it with his mouth so you can understand that everything I tell you is the truth to prepare you. They want to massacre everyone and leave only 500 to 600 million on earth out of about 8 billion. That's how much the devil hates you. We need to wake up. Another solution that I have is this. If you know where and how to purchase a satellite phone, please do, because it will be helpful in the future, in the very near future. And you're going to thank me later. Recently, US lawmakers were given satellite phones quietly. No one told anybody why they were distributing satellite phones to US senators. Nobody said any word. Go and confirm what I'm telling you. Just recently, a few weeks ago, they took satellite phones and gave to them. Remember my opening statement. What they are doing with harmonization of communications and what they're going to do, there's going to be a massive disruption. In the UK, they already ran a test, emergency, on the phones. The guys manipulate your so-called present GSM phones today madly. They're giving them satellite. And I'm telling you to go get your own satellite now. If you can, get it. Learn to use it and keep it. The next thing you might want to buy, nuclear masks. If you can, buy them. Do you know how long it's been since I started giving us ideas on what to do just in case of an emergency? I've been saying this. Sometimes people laugh at me. Sometimes they say, this guy is just a fearmonger. And I laugh. I am telling you, they are bringing nuclear war. They are not going to stop until they bring nuclear war. This video is not about the war between Russia and Ukraine, but go and do some research. They are headed towards a nuclear arms struggle. And you will be the hardest hit because most of the people who are pushing for this war have a place to run to on the ground. You will be the victim. Find out where there is bomb shelter near your city. Move to the countryside if you can. Buy your nuclear mask. Get a satellite phone. Do something. Don't just sit there and say, well, God will do it. No, do what you can and let God do his own. We need to have 1, 2, or 3 leaders who will rise up and say, you know what? This is not going to happen. Then rally other African leaders, other brothers, and tell them, look, guys, there's a point to which something will get and you just put your foot down and say enough is enough. We have gotten to that enough is enough point. Let's do it and preserve destiny in Africa so that Mother Africa will be happy with us. The mother has suffered so much. Enough is enough, my people. We need help. We need God. We need each other. May God give us the grace, man, to stand together and resist this devil so that the devil will flee from us. God bless you.